What's up? This is Kale Culley, and you're watching a Walker Wiki exclusive.
So our first question is just tell us what drew you to the role of August Walker.
I think it was the complexities of the character, because I haven't really gotten a character that's filled with this much inside of him, and I think it was really the aspect of him trying to make everything better. I think that really drew me to it because I'm a peacemaker as well as August, so I love just diffusing situations. And he uses his words really wisely. So to get in that mindset and to really explore the different ways I could calm situations. I mean that was a really great aspect in the coming out of his shell. I love really developing and seeing progress. And so I think seeing the progress of August and him coming out of his shell is just a wonderful thing.
It's been amazing to watch. His character is so interesting and unique and dynamic and rich. It's been fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
So because Jared is obviously playing your father in the show, what are some things that you've learned from him?
Oh, I mean, every day we show up to set, there's always something new. He gives me tips on how to, like, if I'm handling it, like even small things like handling an object in a scene, like he'll say, so if you want to value the camera and you want to have a scene and you want to just pick something up and do something random to value the camera, then do it this way or do it this way. And if you want to try the scene a different way, then you can have a different emotion in your head and then it'll portray differently. Just little things like that. And everybody does that. We all give each other tips and it's just a great time.
That's amazing.
Well, speaking of the set, how does the Walker set differ from other sets you worked on in the past?
Oh, I've been thinking about that, honestly. There's like a real homey vibe whenever you get onto the set. Like some sets you go on and it's like, oh, this is work, or oh, this is gonna be fun, or oh, this is just I don't know how to describe it. But whenever you go to the Walker set, it's just like, oh, this is like these are my people. Like this vibe is the atmosphere is so friendly. It's so awesome. So I can just describe it as a warm kind of feeling.
Hmm.
That's been pretty consistently said across the board. It really says something when everybody kind of says the same thing about.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah.
How did you handle the recent winter storm in Texas down there?
We handled it for sure. It was kind of tough because the power was out. So if we wanted to go outside and play in the snow, we'd come back in and be just as cold as it is outside. So I mean, blankets everywhere, I would have 5 different blankets on me about this thick while I was sleeping, just huddled up. We played a bunch of board games, candles around the house. I mean, it was really fun because there wasn't electronics, so we just all just kind of huddled up and sit by the campfire, tell some stories, which we didn't because the campfire was outside and it was covered in snow. But we played a lot of board games. It was honestly not a bad time.
That's good to hear, at least. You found stuff.
Take some positives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some skills that you brought to the Walker set? For instance, do you know how to use the photography equipment or?
Oh, that's a really good question. Dancing, I think, is one thing that I brought to the set. With my knowledge, I don't think anybody else dances on the set. Violet does, actually. Violet dances. I didn't know how to use the camera. August has 2 cameras. He has a video camera and he has a photography camera, which his mom used. And I think I'm just learning how to use it gradually on set. I have an amazing prop guy. His name is Mark. He teaches me how to use the camera and all the stuff like that. So I think I'm learning as well as August is. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it could turn into a hobby someday.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess tying into that, one of the fan questions was where did you learn to break dance? Because that scene had everybody dying.
Yeah. Whenever I was a little kid, I'd say 5 or 6, I started taking dance classes, and then 7 and 8, we actually went on competition, and I danced for a good 7 or 8 years, taking classes and doing competition. So I have that. I kind of had that skill in my little quiver. Um, so I mean, yeah, I was a dancer, and people were shocked whenever they were like, "Kale, was that a body double? Where was that you?" I was like, "Yeah, I was a dancer for 7 years." So yeah, that's where it started.
So I guess tying into that, did they script that knowing that you knew how to do it, or did they?
Oh,
No.
I think Jared knew that I was a dancer, but I think he was the only one. They asked me if I wanted to like do court, like if I wanted to take dance classes or if I wanted to have a body double, and I was like, "Oh, I can do that. It's
Oh.
fine." But it was so much fun on set because they they had me actually pick a song to dance on the speaker, and I was like, "Oh my, this is so much pressure, and nobody's gonna like my song." So there's like speakers all over the set, and there's a bunch of kids, and I was like, August was drunk at the time, so I was just the whole entire time. It was so much fun.
People still talk about it, so you nailed it.
Oh, fantastic! That's great.
And then to continue with the fan questions, what was your casting process like? And the same person also wants to know if it's been joked about on set how much you look like Jared.
Yes, all the time. In fact, last night, Jared came to set whenever I was leaving, and I was like, "What's up, Jared?" And my sister stops and goes, "You guys look like twins. This is freaky. Like I can't even describe it." And we were just laughing. Everybody jokes about that every once in a while. And then the casting process, it was a really long process. I went through every single stage you could: auditioning, callback, producer session, testing, network testing, and I went through 5 processes. It was a quite nerve-wracking. I mean, auditions are pretty nerve-wracking, but it was a lot of fun because even though I this is before I booked the show, even though I didn't book it yet, I was finding things that I would do that August would do as well, coming through like the auditions and the callback. So I was really breaking down the character, studying the character, making sure that I showed up with the best I could show up with, and got down to the test. I went to the CW. I went to a Warner Brothers building, which was the CW floor, was at like the 5th or 6th floor, and I went into this room, and it was a dark room. It was like a movie theater, and there was chairs stacked up like a movie theater, and people were just sitting down with their notepads. I got in, I was like, "Oh, this is," and there was like 3 cameras on me, and as soon as we started the scene, I mean, everybody seemed to enjoy it. It was a good process.
Yeah, well, I don't think we could see anybody else in the role, so they
Oh,
definitely got the guy.
thank you. I appreciate that.
So I don't know how much you're going to be able to answer this one, but somebody wants to know if you know what's coming up in future episodes for August, and how do you feel about it?
Ooh, yes, I do. And um they are crazy. I can say that these next couple of episodes are crazy episodes. While we were doing the table read, I was sitting looking at the script, and I went, the whole entire time I was just like, wow, this is crazy. So that's all I want to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
We figured
excited.
you wouldn't
We're
be able to
excited.
tell us too much.
Just a couple more. What's your big takeaway from working on Walker so far?
That I love being there. I love doing this. I love they really make the environment so I can't even describe, like, it's so much fun showing up to set every day, and everybody's mentors to each other. I mean, the one takeaway is that these are my people.
This one's- Um, and then finally, the last one, if you could pass on any message to your fans or Walker fans in general, what would it be?
Hmm. Hmm. Um, age is just a number when it comes to achieving the things you want to do.
Very true.
Very
Very
true.
true. That was wise advice.
Yeah. Yeah, short but succinct. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking a bit of time from your day. We know you have a busy schedule, so really, really appreciate this.
Yeah, of course.
We are very excited to see the coming episodes and everything
Yeah.
that's going on with the show. Every week just seems to get more and more intense, and
Oh yeah, and it's gonna get more intense.
yeah.
We can't wait.
Yeah, so, all right. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.